To optimize the camera for pictures of people in landscapes, you'll want to set the landscape mode. However, if you want more control over the camera functions, you'll want to set the aperture priority mode instead. You may want to use the flash, in which case you'll want to know about flash exposure compensation. You'll want to set the ISO, and as always, the white balance. Let's start by setting the landscape mode. Turn the mode dial to the landscape scene, which is the mountain icon right here. What this mode does is optimize the camera for landscapes by trying to get everything in focus. However, it won't give you control over crucial functions such as ISO and white balance. For that reason, I prefer using the aperture priority mode instead. Turn the mode dial to AV. AV stands for aperture value, also known as aperture priority. In this mode, the camera allows you to set the aperture you want, while it automatically sets the appropriate shutter speed. For landscapes, we want a very narrow aperture, again to get everything in focus. So I'll use the main dial at the top of the camera to set this to about f16. Now because we have a person closer to the camera, you may want to use the flash to illuminate that person, or at least to illuminate some of the shadows on that person's face. So go ahead and press the flash button right here. And now every time you take a picture, the flash will be used. You can also change the strength of the flash depending on the distance of that person from the camera. If the person is farther away, you may want to increase the power of the flash. Likewise, if they're closer, you'll want to decrease the power of the flash. I recommend, however, first taking a picture with the flash exposure compensation set to 0 so you know whether the flash strength needs to be increased or decreased. To increase or decrease the power of the flash, press the quick menu button right here. Use the navigation buttons to highlight the flash exposure compensation field. Then use the main dial at the top of the camera to change this setting. Again, I'll just move this to 0 for the first picture taken. Press the quick menu button to escape. Now I want to set the ISO. Press the ISO button right here at the top of the camera. Then use the navigation buttons to choose the appropriate ISO. I'll choose 100 and press set. If there's a lot of light in your scene, you can get away with using a lower ISO. This will maintain a smooth color in your image. Finally, you'll want to set the white balance. Go ahead and press the up navigation button or the WB button right here, and use the navigation buttons or the main dial at the top to set this appropriately. I'm assuming we're outdoors, so I'll set mine to daylight and press set. By appropriately setting the white balance, I'm going to end up with more accurate color in my picture. Now you're ready to take the picture. Place the focusing point over the subject. Press the shutter button halfway to lock focus. Once the camera has locked focus, you can recompose the image if you don't want the subject right in the center of the frame. Now, press the shutter button the rest of the way to take the picture.